Hi, this is Suchitra Parekh talking to you about our country, Bharat, Desh Mahan. Yes, our country has been known for diversity. Variety is the norm. There's a variety of food, variety of clothing, variety of the types of people, their looks, the way they live, their lifestyles. There's a lot of variety in the geographical terrain. Out of the 7 different types of geographical terrains in the world, 6 are found in our country. Yes, such a variety. And therefore, the variety of plants and animals and birds and insects, name it. After Vedanta, it's also known as the land of rishis. A lot of great thinkers, people who would investigate to a great extent deep the nature of truth, the truth, and have come up with various thought points, and we call them darshana. The word darshan arises from a root word drish, which implies intense investigation. So the truths that is arrived at after really, really intense investigation. In our country, largely, there exist 9 schools of thought in this manner, 9 darshana, which are of 2 categories. One category is that which accepts the authority of Vedas. There are 6 of them, and therefore together called as Shad Darshana. And the other 3 do not accept the authorities of the Vedas. So the Shad Darshana are therefore also called Astik. Astik is to accept the authority of Vedas, and the other 3 are called Nastika. That is, they do not accept the authorities of Vedas. Yes, Vedas is the ancient most truth and reality that has been passed down to us as a legacy right from the Shruti and Smriti tradition. That is, the truths that were pronounced by the great knowledgeable rishis, and it passed down to their disciple, to their disciple, to their disciple, and it has come down to us, of course, when the writing came in. They were written down first on the paper, on the leaves with stalks, and now we have them available in papers. But it's as ancient as the Shruti and Smriti tradition. I want to talk about these 9 philosophies. First, to name to you, the Nastic ones are the Charwaka, the Jainism, and the Buddhism. They do not accept the authorities of Vedas. The Shad Darshana, which accepts the authorities of Vedas, are Nyaya and Vaisheshika, Samkhya and Yoga, and the third is Uttar Mimansa and Purva Mimansa. These are Vedanta. So that's the end of Vedas, which is also called as Upanishads. Now, they're spoken of in pairs, and in these pairs there is a relationship. I want to particularly talk about this pair, Samkhya and Yoga. The Samkhya is the why of yoga, and the yoga is the how of Samkhya. These 2 are incomplete without each other. The Samkhya philosophy is giving you the thought process and how to think about things, how to get to the root cause of anything. It has its own cause and effect relationship. Yoga is more practical, more technology oriented. So the techniques of achieving the highest is the yoga. So the techniques are in yoga. The Samkhya is comparatively least studied. It's the ancient most of the darshana, but often considered as difficult because it really requires you to intensely think of the why, reason out, intense amount of concentration, and it speaks of things like awareness of awareness. A lot of us find even being aware difficult. So, where to talk of awareness of awareness? When I say yoga here, I'm not talking of just the asana, pranayam, and kriyas, etc., that are popular. That's not enough. That's just one part of yoga. Yoga is also a large philosophy by itself. Patanjali Yoga Sutra is what yoga is about. So, and Patanjali wrote the Yoga Sutra grafted on the philosophy of Samkhya. It is not that yoga is founded by Patanjali. Patanjali, in his time, all the knowledge of yoga that was available, he gathered it all together and systematically put it in the form of very, very short sentences, aphorisms called sutra. So it is highly condensed statements so that they can be easily retained, remembered, and passed on. So they're very, very potent statements, requires a lot of elaboration. So Sankhya and Yoga, they go hand in hand. These are now become popular. I remember my preceptor, Dr. Jaydev, would say that the stream of spirituality will never dry. Even if it is reduced to a trickle, when the right environment comes, it will flourish. And that is what I feel, I see it today. When I had joined my yoga course more than 30 years ago, I remember my friends mocking at me. कि अभी से क्या बूढ़ी हो गई है. But that was the time when it was necessary to do. In fact, I should have started much earlier. But better late than never. And same I say to you. I think a philosophical bent of mind is what is more needed. And then to find out how to lead your life with the help of the right philosophy that is suitable to you. And therefore such a variety is available so that each one of us in our own unique way can carry on our own path and realize our own potential. We are all born to be divine. We are potentially divine. We have to unveil that. It has been kind of, surrounded, veiled with a lot of ignorance. That has to be got rid of. Both philosophy, Sankhya as well as yoga, they aim at kaivalya, liberation, freedom. Freedom from the cycle of death and birth, which is supposed to be the epitome of pain. And Sankhya directly begins by saying Dukkhatraya Vinashaya. So it is meant for eradication of pain because the search of human life is happiness and joy. India is a land of happiness and joy. It's just that we have to look for it within and we will find it. Yes, it is all in us. Each of us, not only Indians, each human being can become that happy being. Let's follow the philosophy, choose our own, and be happy.